world's a consistent place, so our description needs to be consistent, and that is really what motivates us to try to go the next step. And again, string theory is just one possible way that may or may not be the way to do that.
Thanks, Brian. Eric, do you feel fixated in the search, the theory of everything? You know, you said quite confidently at the start that you believed that it was possible to find one, and you have your own theory.
Look, the answer to this question changed in 1952. In less than 6 months between 1952 and 1953, we successfully fused nuclei and caused an island in the Pacific to disappear, as well as we entered the cell and found the three-dimensional structure of DNA and the genetic code 10 years after. We're going to die here very soon, and by soon I mean a few hundred years at most, almost certainly. We're having a cigar party and a fireworks display while perched on a propane tank. You can see from, for example, the fact that we're all wearing these masks, people haven't even figured out that they're going to have to buy hazmat suits if we start having thermonuclear exchanges. I'm not kidding at all about this. So the new reason to do this isn't the beauty of gazing into the night sky or man's quest to know his place in the universe. If we don't figure out how to spread out, we are running one single experiment with godlike powers and the wisdom of morons based on our current political leadership. There is no way that this terminates well. Furthermore, there is no faster than light travel inside of general relativity. So you can look up at the night sky and you can know more or less that unless you're betting on time dilation and other exotic effects and wormholes, we aren't going anyplace. There are only 3 habitable spheres. Now, the world's richest people, 2 of them, Bezos and Musk, are focused on rockets to get us into space. One of us thinks that we can diversify with 3 spheres. The other seems to think that Gerald K. O'Neill's circular space stations with artificial gravity are the way to go. Bezos actually makes more sense. Neither of these make much sense at all. And the odd thing to say, and again, I don't want to go too much into social commentary, is that if we could only get physics to be vaguely phallic in shape, load it with high explosives and oxidizers, we could get fully funded, and I think we'd probably have a theory within 20 years. At the moment, nobody seems to be motivated on the idea that you break it, you bought it. Physics has a ton of social responsibility. We unleashed this power. I encourage everyone to read Edward Teller's letter to Leo Szilard at the end of the Manhattan Project, and to reevaluate their theories of Edward Teller. His idea was that war had to become so unthinkable that we could never have another. And 75 years of this peace have dulled our sensibilities, forgetting that nuclear weapons have not gone away, and we've added biologicals. If we're not very careful, we are going to have to go farther through the valley of death that physics has led us into if we are ever to escape, diversify, and have some hope that some of us at least will make it in the long term.
Oh, Eric, I went off on a tangent from the theory of everything, but I'm feeling a bit depressed now. Sabina,
you have a chance to survive, Catherine. You have an opportunity, because you know Hamiltonian dynamics and Lagrangians and all that, to work on an escape plan. In fact, I would say we have an obligation I think Teller's comment was to tie the toe of the genie from the bottle we helped it to escape. If the theory of everything exists, it renders Einstein and the Standard Model as effective theories to be deduced from the underlying theory. We don't know whether an analog of the prohibition on faster than light travel persists into a lower layer until we have such a theory. So it could be that if you had the theory of everything, you could prove that you will never meaningfully escape the solar system.
Eric is saying we must pursue this theory of everything because fundamentally humanity needs to escape and go somewhere else.
Diversify.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm doing something very shocking now. I'll actually agree with Eric, which is that I think physicists totally underestimate their responsibility, and I think the relevance of the foundations of physics at this point in the history of time is totally underestimated. You know, we need some new technologies. We're kind of running out of ideas here, and I think they have to come from the foundations of physics. Now, where we start to disagree is exactly where those new ideas should be coming from, and I don't really think that quantum gravity is the right direction to look. I've worked for a long time on quantum gravity. I don't think that looking for mathematical consistency is the right thing to do, but we should be looking for experimental evidence. And I can talk about this for some time. But the point is that all those effects of quantum gravity, they're like really, really small. And even though I think they're super important to understand the universe, I can't really see that they're going to be technologically relevant in the near future, which is why, as of recently, I'm more working in the direction of the foundations of quantum mechanics, where we're talking about the measurement problem, because quantum mechanics is the theoretical framework that underlies all our current technology. And if we understand this better, if we figure out that this is not fundamentally the right thing to do, that's going to impact all our technologies and is almost certainly going to lead to applications.
Thanks, Sabina. Now, Michael, Eric's just upped the ante here, saying we need a theory of everything to diversify and save humanity. So where is that? If we're really needing to pursue that, where is that theory of everything going to come from? And you've wrote a really interesting review of Margaret Wertheim's book recently, where you were saying that you were becoming less dismissive of these theories of everything that you were being sent, that maybe mainstream academic physics is not the place to look at these things. I wonder if you want to expand on that thought.
Right. Yeah, well, first, thanks for the cheery Monday morning, Eric. We're all doomed. We only have a couple centuries to go. We got to go to Mars and start a new human colony. I do support that idea, just in case, but not just in case we cause our own extinction, which is unlikely, but not impossible with nuclear weapons. I think, it's just what we do as a species. We expand out and we explore new places, and that's the next logical step. So let's do it. Okay, good. But if it was just for saving our species, we'd be far better putting the money into research on game theory, for example, and how political leaders can solve conflicts, or how nations can solve conflicts, and what's the best structure for governance of a collection of people